Please like the video and share your thoughts below. Every comment genuinely helps the channel grow. She was tying her hair up at the bathroom sink when I came home from work, takeout in hand, in what I'd call a not terrible mood. "Movie night," I said, holding up the bag. "Blankets on the couch. Pick anything that doesn't involve capes." She didn't even turn around. "Can't tonight. The girls are doing a coffee thing." A quick, clipped smile, the kind you practice in the mirror when you're lying to yourself more than to anyone else. Gossip, you know. The ponytail went higher. Her schedule shifted in visible gears. "Don't wait up." Her hand shook just enough to smudge her eyeliner. Not fear, not guilt, worry. The kind that hits around 8 p.m. If I'd known where the night was headed, I would have grabbed a different dinner and installed a deadbolt with fewer screws. I set the food on the counter. 10 minutes, I said. "Just sit. Eat with me. It'll get cold." I promised Jenna I'd help her pick out tiles. She stretched the word promised like she expected it to cover holes. Her tote was already packed. "You're nervous," I said. She laughed too fast. "About tile? Please." I looked at her shoes, pointed leather flats she never wore to coffee, the kind you choose when someone's going to be looking at your feet. "Text me when you're headed home," I said. She scoffed. "Why are you acting like my dad?" "I'm the guy who bought dinner." She pulled the door with her shoulder. "Don't be dramatic, Erin." The lock clicked. The house fell silent, the kind of silence you find in empty church basements. Chairs, crumbs, no people. I ate alone. The food tasted like cardboard dipped in denial. That was scene 1. 2 plates, 1 used. Loud signal, soft delivery. Still, I started with patience, because grown men try patience before they stop trying anything. She came home near midnight while I was sorting tools in the garage. She slipped in with her phone face down in her palm. "You're up?" she asked. "I work early," I said. "I told you not to wait up." "I told you to text," she blinked. I forgot. "No," I said. "You decided not to." She rolled her eyes. "Can we not turn coffee into a fight? Jen's going through stuff." "Then you're her hero." "You always do that condescending thing." "I'm not condescending," I said. "I'm clocking patterns." "What patterns?" She tossed her tote onto the washer. "You're ridiculous." Tuesday coffee, nervous hands, dress like a job interview, no text, home late. That pattern. She stared at me, face flat. "It's innocent." "Good," I said. "Then respecting my time should be easy." I wiped a wrench clean and put it back. "New rule. If you're out late, you tell me where and with who. Quick note. Courtesy." "I don't report to you." "You don't," I said. "You partner with me. Or you don't. But I don't do ghost shifts in my own house." She crossed her arms. "I'm not 12. "Then this should be easy." She didn't answer, just walked inside, doors thudding, water running. I went to bed on my side. I left her the ocean. She gave me chilly silence for 3 days, the kind where every answer is half a syllable. I kept my voice calm, kept my schedule cleaner, stopped reaching for her shoulder in passing, moved my gym time to evenings. If she wanted distance, I let the hallway stretch. Friday, our neighbor Mark hosted a backyard cookout. People, burgers, paper plates. I figured normalcy would help. She stayed glued to her phone, thumbs tapping like a metronome. Mark's wife, Rachel, nudged me. "She okay? She looks elsewhere." "She's fine," I said, because men say that until the day they don't. Jenna arrived in a pilot jacket and a loud laugh. She hugged my wife like she was rescuing her from a shipwreck and didn't look at me. That told me exactly what story had been told behind my back. Later, at the cooler, my wife grabbed a seltzer. I kept it simple. "We good?" I asked. "We're fine," she said. That wasn't the question. She popped the tab. "Stop being intense." "It's not intense, it's basic," I said, loud enough for Jenna to hear, quiet enough not to start a show. "If you want a later night, schedule it. Tell me. No drama. Jenna's eyebrows lifted. My wife's smile thinned. So we're doing public rules now? Public clarity saves time, I said. She scoffed. You don't own my hours. Nope, I own mine, I said, and I'm done loaning them out to question marks. That landed. I saw it in the way she looked at Jenna. A quick, silent, fix this. Jenna suddenly pretended to examine a napkin. We ate. The men argued about sports. I took a call from my foreman Pete about Monday's delivery and let the call go long. Not as a tactic, just because it felt better to talk to someone who didn't make conversation feel like a maze. At home later, she softened. The first soft moment in a week. That was the mid-turn, though I didn't know the term yet. She stood in the bedroom doorway, hair down. I heard what you said, about time and courtesy, she murmured. You're right. This week was messy. Okay. I should have told you about the coffee, and Jenna needed me. Jenna always needs an audience. That's not fair. It's accurate, I said. She sat on the bed. I've been stressed. Work, my mom's health. You didn't say anything. You were busy. I made time, I said. You skipped. She bit her lip. Let me make it up to you. How? Dinner tomorrow. Just us. No phones. I'll plan it. I nodded once. Good. Do that. She rested her hand on my knee, a quiet white flag. I held her gaze and let silence speak. We fell asleep with a 2-foot treaty between us. She planned dinner, a small downtown spot with wobbly bistro chairs. She was present, engaged. She asked about Pete's new baby, laughed at my forklift story. When the check came, she placed her card down first. Don't faint, she joked. Noted, I said. Keep the receipts. On the walk to the car, she slid her arm through mine. See, we're fine. We're behaving, I said. Not the same thing. You always need a problem. No, I said quietly. I need respect. She didn't answer, but she held on tighter. Sunday, I fixed a gutter. She baked brownies, my favorite kind, and brought me one on a napkin. Part 1. It tasted like apology mixed with strategy. You're sweet when you're quiet, she teased. Quiet is efficient, I said. You hear better. Monday morning was normal enough. Coffee, headlines, 2 adults on autopilot. I grabbed my thermos and headed to work. Pete asked if I wanted to watch the college game at O'Malley's Wednesday. I said yes. I hadn't said yes to a midweek anything in months. That was initiative number 2. Time belonged to me again. That night, she was on the couch with her laptop. I sat across from her with invoices. A text buzzed on her phone. Screen lit up. She grabbed it a beat too late. For a full second, I saw the preview. Hey, same spot as last time, 7:30. I want to see you. No name, just an initial. She froze, then locked her phone and set it on a coaster like it was radioactive. What was that? I asked. Calm. Too calm. Nothing. Nothing, I repeated. Texts at 7:26 with a time and a location. She stared at the TV, dark and unplugged. It's a coworker. He's going through a divorce. He wants advice. I'm being nice. Men don't ask married women for late-night advice, I said. They ask therapists or other men. It's not like that, she whispered. Like what? I have to go, she said suddenly, standing up. She scanned for the shoes she'd kicked under the coffee table. Jenna needs me. She's stuck. 10 minutes ago it was peaceful, I said. Now there's an emergency? Please don't start. I'm not starting, I said. I'm observing. She grabbed her tote. I'll be right back. I didn't stand, didn't argue. I nodded once, the way a manager ends a meeting. She left. 10 minutes can be innocent. 10 minutes after a text like that is choreography. I washed my cup, wiped the counter, and made a list. Lists are anchor lines when a storm pretends it's fog. Meet with the bank consultant. Document what's mine. House, truck, retirement, the shop equipment I paid for myself. Breathe. I didn't sleep well. At dawn, I drove to Pete's and told him I'd be late. "You good?" he asked. "I'm making adjustments." "Need a couch?" "No, I need a notary." He grunted. "That kind of Monday?" "Exactly that kind of Monday." At the bank, I moved my savings into a separate account with my name only. That money was years of Saturday overtime and the sale of a boat I never used. I wasn't hiding it. I was protecting the things I built with my own 2 hands. I updated beneficiaries, ordered new cards, scheduled a meeting with a financial specialist for the next morning. No drama, just a checklist, a man doing maintenance on his life. Then I stopped at the county office. People think filing paperwork is emotional. It's not. It's mechanical. You fill in boxes, you sign your name, and you watch a clerk stamp something that changes the rest of your life. The clerk was a gray-haired guy in practical glasses. He looked at me like he'd seen men at this counter before. "You sure?" he asked. "Yes." He nodded, the way men nod when one of them has finally dropped a rope he's been dragging too long. "All right, then." When I got home, she was on the porch, talking to someone about plants in a voice way too cheerful to be real. I walked past her without pausing, set the folder in my office, opened my laptop, and started separating what was hers to touch from what wasn't. Subscriptions, utilities, passwords, access points. Not punishment, clean boundaries. If she wanted solo freedom, I would make it tidy for both of us. That evening, she tried Illusion Part 2. She cooked a full dinner, roasted chicken salad with too many toppings, candles she normally saved for holidays. She wore a soft sweater I used to compliment years ago. "I wanted to do something nice," she said, standing too close to the stove. She reached for my wrist. "We've been off. Let's reset." "Resetting is honesty," I said, "not choreography." "I'm trying here." "Then look me in the eye," I said, "and tell me there isn't a man texting you to meet up after dark." She blinked slowly. "You're obsessing." "I'm verifying." "You're controlling." "I'm setting standards." We ate in quiet, which wasn't peace, just noise that didn't have a voice. She kept starting sentences and abandoning them like shopping carts left in an empty parking lot. After dishes, she sat next to me on the couch. Her hand crawled onto my forearm. I let it rest there. I didn't move to meet it. "You're cold," she said. "I match temperature." "That's petty." "It's a mirror." "You can be unbearable." Noted. Wednesday, I went to O'Malley's with Pete and Mike. We watched the game, yelled at missed shots, and ate wings that tasted like freedom and heartburn. My phone sat on the table face up. Nobody texted me a location. Nobody said, "Same spot as last time." Mike looked at me over his beer. "You're quieter than usual. Thinking about walking or fixing?" "Thinking about finishing," I said. He nodded. There's calm in the finish. When I got home, the house was dark. Her car wasn't in the driveway. I sat in my truck for a minute with the engine idling. Then I shut it off and went inside. Lights. Quiet. A couch that felt like a witness. At 11:58, I called her. Straight to decline. That tiny, efficient click. The sound of someone brushing you aside. I called again. Declined. The kind of decline that says, "I'm busy with something better than you." At 12:03, my screen lit up. "I'll call when I'm free." I typed, "Don't worry. Don't need the call. Stay with him. The house is closer to you tonight." Then I blocked her number, and I stood up. I took the folder from the office, set it on the dining table, and pulled 2 suitcases from the hall closet. I packed her things the way I break down a job site. Organized, clean, no mess for the next crew. Clothes, daily use stuff, essentials, nothing petty. Then I set the bags by the front door. On top, I placed the folder. Documents, signatures, dates, order distilled. I changed the code on the lock, slid the chain in place like a period at the end of a sentence. Then I waited. She showed up 10 minutes after the message, breathless footsteps on the porch, key scraping metal. The key didn't know the door anymore. She knocked, then pounded. "Aaron, open the door! What is this?" I turned the deadbolt. She rushed inside, stopped dead when she saw the bags, the folder, and the new quiet in the house, the kind you get right before a storm breaks. Her words tumbled out. "Are you serious? This is insane. You can't lock me out of my own—" "You were out," I said. "I locked the house with friends inside." She lied with the confidence of someone who'd practiced. "Friends who call you at midnight and ask for a ride?" I said. "Try again." "You're paranoid." "Your phone disagrees." She flared. "You're tracking me now? Reading my messages? That's sick." "Aaron, I saw a text you left open like a billboard," I said. "You declined my calls, twice, then told me you'd check back when you're free." She stepped into her indignation like it was a stage. "So I can't have my own life now? I can't have a conversation without you hounding me? You've gotten controlling. Everyone sees it." "Everyone who?" I asked. "Jenna, my mother, the girls." "Jenna needs a mirror. Your mother needs peace. And the girls need new material." She pointed at the bags. "This is emotional punishment. This is consequence. For what? Talking to someone? Helping a friend?" "For stepping outside the marriage," I said, "and spitting on what we built." She scoffed so hard her earrings shook. "You're not a saint, Aaron. You work late, you hang out with the guys, you barely look at me half the time." "I was here when you didn't show. I changed plans when you wandered off. I asked for respect. You called it control." "You're overreacting." "No," I said. "I'm done reacting." She stared at the folder. "What is that?" "Clarity," I said. She opened it, saw the header. Her face stilled. "You filed this morning?" she whispered. "You didn't even talk to me." "I tried for weeks. You staged a coffee marathon. You hid in plain sight." "You're throwing away a marriage over a single text." "I'm ending a performance," I said, "over a pattern." She shook her head. "Are you happy now? You just proved every fear I had about you. You're cold, you're punishing, you want control over I want self-respect in my own home." She lifted a bag like it weighed more than fabric. "Where am I supposed to go?" "Somewhere that matches your calendar." "Aaron, please. I messed up. I've been lonely. You've been distant. I didn't know how to talk to you. We can fix this." "No counselors," I said calmly. "No negotiations. You submitted your application to another life. I'm approving it." Tears finally came. Strategic tears. Late ones. "You're cruel." "I'm clear." "I didn't do anything physical." "I didn't ask." "So that's it? You're just closing the door?" "Yes." "You'll regret this." "I've regretted not doing it earlier." She pointed at the folder. "What about the house, the savings? You can't just—" "I can protect what I built, and you can consult whoever you like. The numbers are what they are." "You're going to leave me with nothing." "You traded something priceless for attention from a stranger." I pointed at the folder. "Read page 3. It's fair. More fair than your last 2 weeks." "You're a monster." "No," I said quietly. "I'm a man who stopped arguing with silence." She stared at me like she'd hit a stop sign at full speed. "Can we please sit down? 10 minutes, no phones, just us." "You had those minutes," I said. "You spent them." She opened her mouth again. I raised a hand. "Enough." We stood in silence. She finally grabbed the bags and stepped outside. The night swallowed her, fast and without ceremony. I placed the second copy of the folder on the table, then said the last words I'd ever say to her as a husband. "You went too far. This is your only path now. Good luck." I closed the door. The new code hummed, the chain rested, the house exhaled. I didn't. Not yet. The next few days were not peaceful. That's the lie people sell you when they package clarity like a spa day. Reality is louder. She called from numbers I didn't recognize, then from Jenna's phone, then from her mother's, then from a blocked line that tried 3 times at 3 in the morning. I let voicemail do the catching. She left long messages that started with apologies and ended with threats. I didn't listen to most of them. I didn't need the script. I'd lived the live version. At work, Pete looked at me over a coil of wire. "You good?" "I'm busy," I said. "Busy is good. Busy is control." Jenna showed up at the fence one evening like a sitcom neighbor, except without the laugh track. "You can't just put her out like that," she started. No hello. "Do you know how that looks? People talk." I rested my arms on the top plank. "People would also talk if I let it go on," I said. "She's heartbroken." "She's resourceful," I said. "She'll land." "You're cold." You all keep confusing calm with cold. "She said you were always about yourself," Jenna pushed. "I was about us," I said. "She was about a rotating audience." "You're impossible." "And you're dismissed." I turned and walked back inside. That was my public boundary. Witnessed. Simple. The divorce basically walked itself forward once I put it on rails. Numbers got tallied. The house was mine before we ever met. The shop gear was paid through my LLC. The savings I'd moved were legal and clean. She tried to argue about furniture and gifts from her family. I kept everything straight. Offer, counter, signature, repeat. No gloating, no name-calling, no diner closure talks. I treated it like traffic. Signal, merge, keep moving. In the middle of all that, Mrs. Patel, my older neighbor, caught me at the mailbox. "Big changes," she said, her eyebrows soft, not nosy. "Necessary ones," I answered. "Peace will come," she said. "Not first, but it will." She was right about the order. It didn't come first. I kept my routine clean. Gym, shop, house. I stopped cooking for 2. Stopped setting expectations for a ghost. When friends invited me out, I went. Didn't check a calendar that wasn't mine anymore. One night, Mike dragged me to trivia at the bowling alley. A woman named Claire sat across from me. She asked about my truck, corrected me when I botched a state capital, laughed like she actually liked her own jokes. She wasn't a fix. She was oxygen. I didn't make promises. I said yes to a coffee. That was it. My ex, she hates that word, but labels are earned, didn't let go easily. She left handwritten notes in my mailbox like we were 15. She tried catching me in the grocery store parking lot, starting with, "Can we please just," and ending with, "You owe me." I told her the same thing every time. I owe you the truth. You got it. The rest is paperwork. The day the divorce papers finalized, I didn't throw a party. I didn't burn anything. Didn't post quotes. I went to work. Put in a solid 9 hours. Drove home on a road that looked exactly the same, but didn't feel like a loop anymore. I parked, sat for a minute, let silence finally be just silence, not a verdict. I see my friends more now, not as distraction, just as life. There's poker night in Pete's garage where the buy-in is small and the stories are better than the hands. There are Saturdays where I drive past the river with no one checking the time beside me. There's Claire, who still refuses to let me cheat at trivia and doesn't treat me like a renovation project. She asks what I want to do on Sunday and actually means it. People sometimes ask if I miss my marriage. I miss the version I signed up for. That one was clean. The version I had at the end was a play with too many understudies. She didn't get the house. She didn't get the savings. She got what made sense. Nothing you could reasonably spin into a trophy. I didn't slam the door on her life. I just shut mine. She moved into a small place across town with thin walls. I hear things from people who still orbit her. How she tells the story depends on the room. Sometimes I'm the villain. Sometimes I'm the stone she broke herself against. Doesn't matter. She's chasing sympathy. I'm not in those stands anymore. The only thing I regret is the time I spent explaining basics to someone who had already enrolled in a different class. I gave patience, she gave excuses. In the end, I handed her the one thing she kept pretending she wanted: freedom. There's a simple line I have taped inside my toolbox now on a greasy index card. It's not poetic. You won't find it on a mug. Respect is the first bill due. If it's not paid, you cut the service. You don't threaten, you don't posture, you don't count to 3. You shut it off, you move on. That's not cruelty. That's maintenance. And life runs a lot smoother when you service what's yours and stop subsidizing what isn't. Thanks for listening. If this story hit you in any way, hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. It really does keep me going, and I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts in the comments.